Buenos dias, bonjour, o genki desu ka? Ni hao ma? Good morning. Dear esteemed viewer, should the name Satan, Lucifer, or any other such Hebrew or Latin word, name, frighten you, scare you, well, I would ask you to consider that perhaps you suffer from religious trauma syndrome, from gaslighting, from the powers that be, from the religious control structure, from the religious control paradigm of enslavement. Because Satan is a Hebrew word, it means adversary. Lucifer is a Latin word, lucifer, it means light bringer. Now, you came to this planet to climb higher, not to sink into the abyss of fear. And if you are centered in your heart, if you are in alignment, all of your chakra, your energy vortices, your thought clusters, your energy centers are in alignment and healthy and activated, even if your energy does go beyond your solar plexus and up into your higher discerning energy, thought clusters, vortices, chakras, energy wheels, awareness, dimensions. If you're operating at the highest dimension, your crown chakra is active, you're connected to your galactic chakra, and thus to an intelligent infinity. You have communion from the divine. You're divinely guided. You are walking with God. You are source connected. You are source aware, and thus you are guided by angels. And I'm going to tell you, that is the way you discern a message. That is the way you discern through your energy, through the energetic impact upon your divinely conceived and executed genetic vehicle that is the house for your light vehicle, your Merkaba, your rainbow body, your avatar of light. And that is the way you discern. If words, names, titles are causing you fear, if a message is causing you fear, driving you into lower dense vibrations and such, seek help. Because you suffer from religious trauma syndrome, gaslighting from the organized religion, from the powers that be. Because in every age, religious leaders, they hold sway. They have their claws in the minds, over the minds, in the behavior and the lifestyles of the population, of the people, of the todos los gentes, all the people. It has been that way from the first human civilization. From the dawn of time. Now, at the closing of the age of reason, certainly now organized religions are rallying, staking their renewed claim to your soul. See, I told you so. It's the end times, like the prophecies said in the book. They have paved the way of salvation while their coffers spill over with gold, the gold of your devotion and labor. Your labor. Know that the leaders of all religious empires, like all political figureheads, set the direction of their spiritual teachings according to the power mandates. They all work in congruence with the power structure of the secret government, for they too must follow the directories of the cabal, the dark cabal, the secret government, the deep state. As the one world order is put into place, they are preparing you for the one religion. And that will not be Christianity or Islam or any other designated faith. The one religion of which we speak is the giving of yourselves totally to the religion of power. A way of controlling your actions and beliefs through spiritual reprisal. Talking about God's wrath upon you, the perennial sinner. And it is by far the darkest expression of their rule over you. I suggest, the Om the New Earth Ashram suggests, you take a closer look at those who insist that the way to heaven is upon the knees of obedience, and that you walk, not crawl, along the path your soul designed when you first set out upon your exquisite journey, your soul-side journey. The Christed one, talking about Yeshua, the first Christ, the first anointed one, walked the earth to show you the way out of blindness. And he was a rebel, a true anarchist. This, it seems, has been lost in the telling of his passing amongst you. He illuminated the path of true devotion, showing you the way within, where the God light of creation shines your own divinity. He personified forgiveness, compassion, and unconditional love. He healed the sick, taught the ignorant, and guided humankind into the light. He showed you that true religion, your connection to the prime creator of source, is within you, and that love is the way and the glory. The priesthood, the Pharisees, the organized religion of that time, and that hasn't changed, but they were aware of the disruptive impact of the Christ message, the disruptive impact to the order, to the current power structure. That is why I have people coming on these videos and leaving nasty little comments, because I am upsetting the order. I am sharing and promulgating the original message of light from the original Christ, Yeshua. And they know, the priesthood are aware of the disruptive impact of the Christ message and what it would have had not only upon their immediate power, but also the very future of organized religion. Conspired, designing the stratagem of his assassination. They knew as well that they would have to rewrite history so that the story of the Christ's appearance on earth would paint a far different picture than that which had been etched upon the collective consciousness of that era. It would read Jesus Christ, a martyr, and glorify him as the selfless one who died for your sins. No one can die for your sins, dear esteemed viewer. And this would empower, this message, this altered message, this distorted message would empower the hierarchy with the care and keeping of the true records. How is it that the existing church of this vengeful execution to appease the priesthood, the church, walked away victorious, freed on some levels of the greatest anarchist who ever walked the earth? Know that appearances are not always what they seem. And so I ask you to think, to exercise your discernment, rethink the myths and tales of human history. You, the light workers of these times, are seeing beneath the surface into the darkest depths of the illusion. And by nature of that vision, you are beginning to neutralize the hold of the phantom over you. Feeling liberated and aware, that makes you a prime target for as particularly exotic technologies now being used against you by the power, by the secret power, by the deep state. But these can be neutralized through right thought, right action, through the eightfold noble path, once the veil is lifted. And don't think that your numbers have gone unnoticed, or that your growing awareness of the covert management of Earth has somehow been deemed insignificant to the secret government. As the light of your knowledge and clear intention illuminate the way, the cloaked ones, the shadowed ones, have had to develop strategies to deal with your brilliance. For you're upsetting their strategy of embracing you're setting their strategy of secrecy. Indeed, as you grow in numbers and in strength, giving voice to the silence of the ancient and the true story of human evolution, you are becoming enormously menacing to the plan. Whereas before, your light was dim and scattered, it is now a glowing fire. You are light bringers, light warriors that cannot and will not be extinguished. They simply had to come up with a strategy to deal with you, the troublemakers, the anarchists, the Christed ones, and they did. Know that the best way to infiltrate your networks is by assuming the mannerisms, the appearance, and the language of the light teams. In shadow, yes, in shadows they operate from the shadows. The darkest ones never dress in black robes and all that. You must know that by now. You must know that they would never reveal themselves so flagrantly, for they are most effective when they operate in shadow. No, the systematic imprinting upon the unconscious of satanic icons, evil acts, and ghoulish images is intended for easier targets, the sleeping masses. For they are so bent in their fear that the mere conjuring of such images is enough to hold them in false worship, good, God-fearing citizens, victims of their own ignorance. But when you have knowledge, you operate from the light of knowledge. You're not susceptible to those little child psychology antics of, ooh, Satan, kids, ooh, Lucifer, ooh, kids, ooh, it's evil, ooh, go to Jesus, and ooh, Jesus is going to save you, and while you're at it, give me all your money. Listen, these troublesome characters, those known as the Dark Cabal, there's only like 2,000 of them in total, if that even anymore. But they're not going to expose themselves parading around with skulls perched on scepters of evil, although there is the Skull and Crossbones Society. So do not let yourselves be activated in any way to hypnotically fear these archetypes. You will find them skulking about disguised as messengers of light, great political leaders, statesmen, intellectual priests, evangelists, and leaders of the spirit movement, even movie stars and people that you listen to in music. They will feign that they will act like you. They will act like they're one of you, but they are seekers of truth, and they will attempt to deceive you every step of the way, for they are masters of illusion. They are already well at work infiltrating your light centers. That is why we feel compelled to bring this information full center for your consideration and analysis. We believe that you must be far more discerning than ever before, no longer as eager children grasping trustingly at all that is being made available to you, but as wise seekers who have learned that there are also thorny stems where roses bloom. We have told you at other moments of our teachings, be as wise as serpents and harmless as doves. It is important that you not blindly accept all information and individuals who have been positioned as bringers of enlightenment or social reform. For the ways of the dark side are elusive, and you will simply have to have your own eyes open, your sensors, your discernment fully operational. So, you came to rise in your mission, not to sink into the abyss of hopeless fear and inability to get up with energy and face the day and spread your light. So, all sources of information you must discern. If you come away from these sources overwhelmed by the information, feeling disempowered and stirred up in the lower vibrations of fear, survival, or sexuality, then you are not working with light-sourced information. Be clear. The Creator is everywhere around you and within you. You are anchored to the great planet Earth, and Spirit is calling you ever upward. You came to climb higher, not to sink into the abyss. You have heard the wake-up call. Now, awaken. The sleeper must awaken. And the sleeper must hit the subscribe button and leave this video a thumbs up. Namaste. Namaskara.